Welcome to Classic Value Investors and Micro Cap Explosions. This is Mariusz Skonieczny. Today we're talking about the report that RFC Ambrian just came out with. As you can see, it's titled June 9th. It's dated June 9th, 2021 for Oroco Resource. A significant copper resource is emerging. For those of you that are interested in reading the whole report, which I think you should, the link to the report is in the description below. But I thought it would be useful to go over some of the things in this report because I believe this is a well-written report. So just as an introduction, Oroco Resource is a Canadian junior exploration company with an exciting project in Mexico. The Santa Tomas project currently has a historic resource of 2.65 million tons of contained copper, which is open in all directions. The use of modern exploration techniques may validate historical projections of 7 million tons of copper. Indications of these potentials are already clear in the recently completed 3D IP survey. So here, just talking about some infrastructure, blah, blah, blah. I will let you read it. Obviously, the most important part that should interest us is this last paragraph here. This gives a takeover price for Oroco of 8.66 to 11.55 per share, assuming share price represents a takeover price including 30% premium. We plan an 18 to 24 month trading price of 6.66 to 8.88 per share on Oroco. So in other words, if you take this 6.66 times the premium 1.3, you get that 8.66, and then if you take that 8.88 times 30%, you get this. So in other words, they are projecting that the takeover for Oroco will be, let's just round it, almost $9 per share to 11. So 9 to 11. So let's just call it 10. Okay. Let's move on to another interesting point, which is on page 3. Oroco is now developing a very promising copper deposit that, with further successful exploration and permitting, has the potential to be progressed through to an operating mine. In the meantime, we believe, this is the important part, we believe that there are only 8 copper projects globally not already owned by the major mining companies or top-tier copper producers that could be considered a potential takeover candidates under our criteria, and Santa Tomas is one of them. This clearly places Oroco as a potential merger and acquisition candidate as the project develops. So this is very important because, as I was saying in many of the videos, the copper demand is increasing, but the supply is not, and there are not that many candidates for the majors. There are just not that many candidates for the majors, and this clearly says this, that there are only about 8 projects globally that could be acquired that are not in the hands of the majors, and Santa Tomas is one of them. So that's fantastic to hear that. Next, let's go to page 15. Okay, so here in the report, you should just read this here, the who, it's when, who, the reservoir. People were talking about the river, the potential river. So this report addresses the reservoir, Hewitt's Dam, and how Oroco is already in the process of hiring engineers to talk about the potential diversion, but it's not as a big deal as some people might have suggested. And there's an example in this report of something like this being done on a different project. Next, page 17. So this section is the most important here, the copper M&A landscape. In November 2018, we published a major copper report entitled Copper M&A, the cupboard is nearly bare. And in early 2019, we reviewed the copper M&A activity and updated the exploration projects section of this report. The conclusion of both reports that there are a limited number of late-stage development projects of a meaningful size that are potentially available for acquisition. Again, this is what I've been talking for many times. The copper project database identified 64 development and exploration projects with resource of more than 2.5 million contained copper. Of these, we identified only 19 with the potential to involve third-party merger and acquisition activity, and we concluded that there are just 5 projects with a high possibility of third-party involvement, one of which was Santa Tomas. And this is the project that when I made a video that Santa Tomas is #1 in the world, if you remember me making this. Next, page 18. Here. This effectively leaves just 8 projects for consideration as potential takeover candidates under our criteria, including Oroco's Santa Tomas project. So pretty much this is what we already talked about on the first page. And page 20. So this is the table for their projection, right? So as I said before, their target is, the takeover target is between 8.6 and 11.5 per share. And this is how they're explaining it. As a result, we believe that a resource of at least 3 to 4 times the original historical resource, equivalent to between, let's just say, 8 to 10.6 of million tons of contained copper, could be outlined over the next 18 to 24 months. So right now it's small, right? But they're predicting that this resource here is going to get anywhere between this to this, and the multiple is going to be anywhere between 3 to 4, and that's based on the recent 3D IP. So they're making some kind of prediction here. So if it gets to this size, they're saying that it's going to get acquired for between this and this. Now, I think that they are being conservative here, in my opinion. I think Santa Tomas is going to get much bigger than this. I think it's going to get even bigger than this, okay, which will be 16 million. But let's say it's just going to get to this amount. Then, based on what they're saying, it would get acquired for about $17 per share. And that's why in my previous interview, I even said that my target is between 10 to 20. So that would fall within what I'm talking about. But now, as far as the new roadmap, I said before, I'm not updating my roadmap until I see the drills turning. So we'll see. So anyway, that's it for this video. You should definitely read this report. It's very good. And it's nice to see some institutions in this space recognizing this kind of opportunity. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.